She didn't raise her voice or cause a disturbance. She simply stood there, a picture of calm composure. Yet within minutes, she was being led to a sterile interrogation room. Why? Because she was a black woman in the polished, exclusive first-class lounge of Northgate International Airport. Among travelers draped in designer labels and pulling sleek, expensive luggage, a quietly dressed woman moved with grace, towing a simple, worn carry-on. Her expression was calm, her presence unassuming, yet every set of eyes in the lounge was fixed on her, thick with suspicion. Before we continue, tell us where in the world you are watching from. Drop it in the comments below. And if you enjoy this story, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more powerful content like this. A senior security manager signaled with a cold, precise gesture. A lead flight attendant pretended not to notice, and a radio clicked with authority. She might not have known she was being watched, or maybe she did, and simply chose to remain unbothered. Then, in full view of the other passengers, 2 security officers approached, their faces tense and their stares probing. But there was something they didn't know. This seemingly ordinary woman held an unseen power, one that could determine the fate of the entire airline. And when she later reached into her bag, the destiny of that airline began to shift irrevocably. This wasn't just about prejudice. This was the moment a powerful truth was about to force an entire system to look in the mirror. From the moment Zoe Washington stepped into the priority lounge, the air crackled with unspoken judgment. Passengers whispered, their glances sharp with skepticism. Across the room, Karen Miller, the veteran security supervisor known for her iron-fisted approach, zeroed in on Zoe. Karen missed nothing, and every detail of Zoe's simple dress and scuffed shoes fueled her conviction that this woman did not belong. Without a second thought, Karen tapped her radio, her voice like ice. Priority Lounge 1, suspicious individual. Initiate immediate verification. Moments later, the 2 officers were striding toward Zoe, who remained utterly composed. She knew this was just the beginning. Karen strode down from her surveillance perch, her heels clicking an aggressive rhythm on the marble floor. She stopped directly in front of Zoe, casting a dismissive glance at the first-class ticket displayed on her phone. Then she lowered her voice, making sure every word landed like a stone. "You're in the wrong line. The economy is over there." The lounge fell silent. Everyone waited for Zoe to get angry, to lash out. Instead, she lifted her chin, her gaze steady. A faint, knowing smile touched her lips. "I know exactly where I belong." The calm, powerful reply made Karen flinch. Outrage flashed in her eyes, her authority challenged. She turned to the officers, her finger flicking in silent command. "Escort her to the interrogation room." Zoe offered no resistance, following them with quiet dignity. In that cold, windowless room, an officer with a stone-cold expression began the questioning. "Name? Purpose of travel?" Zoe answered clearly, watching his discomfort grow as her answers refused to fit his prejudiced script. When they moved to open a large, sealed work envelope from her bag, she stopped them. "To open that, you'll need a lawyer and a court order." The officers froze, stunned by her firm command of her rights. Outside, watching on a monitor, Karen's smug smile began to fade. The woman she had so easily dismissed was now controlling the entire situation. After they let her go, Zoe walked back to the lounge and boarded the plane, head held high. The whispers followed her as she took her first-class seat. Jessica Miller, the lead flight attendant and Karen's cousin, glided down the aisle, all charm and warm towels for everyone except Zoe. The silent snub was deafening, but Zoe just sat, gazing out the window, her resolve unshaken. Mid-flight, Jessica stopped by her seat, her professional smile failing to hide the malice beneath. "Excuse me, we need you to move to a seat in the back for weight distribution." Her voice was loud, intended to humiliate. The cabin grew quiet. Zoe let the silence stretch before she spoke, her voice calm but sharp. "If weight distribution is the problem, why am I the only one being asked to move?" You could have heard a pin drop. Jessica fumbled, her face turning red, the flimsy excuse exposed for the insult it was. That was Zoe's cue. She quietly opened a secure app on her phone, filed her final report, and sent off the evidence. The audit was complete. When they landed, an official met her at the gate and led her to a conference room. The airline's senior leadership, the 2 security officers, and a tight-lipped FAA official were already there. Sarah was present too, her face pale with anxiety. They all expected an apology. Instead, Zoe laid her credentials on the table. "My name is Zoe Washington. I am the senior ethics auditor for the Sterling Group." She let that sink in. Just 24 hours ago, my signature authorized a $5 billion rescue package that saved this airline from bankruptcy. I regret to inform you that Grand Sky Airlines has failed this audit in its entirety. Shock rippled through the room. Then she played the footage from her hidden camera. Karen and Jessica's sneers, the biased questioning, the public humiliation, all projected for them to see. The lead executive stammered an apology, but Zoe cut him off. "I don't need an apology, I need accountability." The fallout was immediate and catastrophic. Sterling Group froze the $5 billion deal. The news sent the airline stock into a free fall, throwing the company into chaos. Karen and Jessica were stripped of their jobs, their power and perks gone overnight. A week later, Zoe was back at the airport. She spotted Karen behind a small desk at a rival airline's counter, just another face in the crowd. Karen looked up, her eyes filled with regret as she saw Zoe. She tried to mumble an apology, but Zoe just shook her head. "I'm not here to sit in a seat. I'm here to see who remembers how to treat people right." There was no anger in her voice, only the quiet power of the truth. That is the real power in this world, not money or a fancy title, but how we choose to treat each other.